What's the deal? What's the deal? How's it going, YouTube? It's OG Scotty B. Thanks. Um, the OG is because I just think it sounds cool. OG Scotty B. I just think that's kind of it rolls off the tongue. So that's what that's all about. Just like sometimes get people asking me, because yeah, I'm not into promoting any gangs or criminal activity or anything like that. Um, although I did participate in some criminal activity, and I worked with like a few gangsters, but just wasn't really involved in any of that kind of stuff. So I just kind of leave it alone. But holy fuck, eh? YouTube's going kind of weird. YouTube's getting all crazy, man. Guys driving up to fucking Boston and fucking just going nuts. I'm not even gonna put the names in the title. Because fuck, I was thinking about clickbait now, and it's like, what an opportunity, but something fucking doesn't matter. Um, yeah, and then there's, it's your boy, with that bitch ass. That guy, I guess Savage in prison, Raw are going at it, and, Pino jumped, drove up there and saw Jake. Wow, man, it's just getting, YouTube's just getting really, I don't know, full of fucking drama. It's like, and it seems like that's what the views are all about too, is seeing people, even myself, I'm not gonna lie, like, it gets more interesting when these idiots are fucking yelling at each other and that, right? Like, it's funny. Anyways, let's see. Yeah, when I this one time, me and my friend Jack, God rest his soul, he died of he used to work on the tugboats, and he would the tugboats up here they would tow logs, and so then he was one of the guys that would run out on the logs with the stick and whatever, and get the straggling logs and hold them in, and this and that, and so yeah, he was basically my one of my best friends in high school, and he died out there on the log booms. He was towing logs. I wasn't there, but I guess he missed a step and the boom closed. He fell underneath, and then the boom closed on top of him. He wasn't able to get up and get for air, and he died. He drowned. So that kind of sucked. But my friend Jack was a really good guy, and we had some great times together. I used to live in this party house on 17th, just up from where I live now. Just up from where I live now, and yeah, it was kind of funny. It was this party house, and we would go that like I'd be out at work or out doing something or whatever, and Jack would be on the tugs, and so I took care of his dog all the time. When he'd go out on the tugs for like 2 weeks, and then come back for 2 weeks and go out for 2 weeks type of thing. So if I live, and a few times, more than once, I'd show up and one of our friends would have already started a party at this place. So I'd come home from work, or I'd come home from doing whatever, and there'd be 10, 15 people in my house already drinking, and fucking the music cranked and everything like that. It was kind of a nuts house, and yeah, that's kind of some of the shit we would do. And so we had this party down there once, and it's funny. I don't know if we were. I don't know what inspired us to do this, but it's just sort of a funny thing. My parents didn't live too far. My dad had been through the divorce with my mom. I guess I was probably 20. I was 20. I was almost. I was close. I was probably doing heroin, or we were just dabbing in it. So it was probably 22, 23 around that time. And so my dad was away, but he had tenants in the house, at one of the house that I grew up in. And so for whatever reason, Jack and I were pretty drunk, and we were all high on acid and just being idiots and drunken morons. And so we grabbed, we put our robes on, and my dad had a hot tub. So what we did was we drove up to my dad's house, which it wasn't far, but yeah, yes, we did drink and drive, and acid. Actually, we acid and drive because we were fucking high on acid. But so we drove up to my dad's house, and we jump in the hot tub, and we pull up, and we had our robes on, and we walk in around the side of the house, and we've got our our bathrobes and bunch of beers and some weed, and we get down there and we fucking put the tunes on, and we sit in the hot tub and start drinking, and next thing you know, the cops come in. They're like, fucking get out of the fucking hot tub, blah blah blah, this and that. And then the tenants came out, and I'm like, well, I live here, I said to them. They're like, no, you don't. Wear the tenant. I'm like, well, my dad owns this property, and we just decided to come over here for a hot tub. And yeah, they didn't even arrest us. Like, they just fucking they just told us to leave, and so we left. And we left the car in the driveway, and then we went and picked it up about half an hour later or whatever, once the cops left. But yeah, I think about my friend Jack every once in a while. I do. I went to a Grateful Dead show with him, and yeah, it's just I wonder what life would have been like if he was alive. He died at a young age, and it's just sad. So I just thought I'd just tell this little story, and I kind of haven't been on YouTube for a little bit, so yeah, I'm back to making a few videos. Thanks. Cheers.